Cue my intro music. No music this time, but here I am, Tezor Mogas, East Africa Showcase, first video of 2026. Let me adjust. Of course, I'm back here in the AV room. Hold on. This is not good enough. Yeah, I guess this can work. Oh, I shouldn't have started playing around with it. Otherwise, I'm gonna be obsessed with it. But it's okay, whatever. Lighting. This is not a Hollywood production where I need perfect lighting. All I need is to talk to you. So, hopefully, I'm recording this on the 17th of January. Hopefully, life is as good as it could be during a time of geopolitical tension all over the place. You have Venezuela, you have Iran, there's regime change, there's all sorts of things. South of the border, we have the tariffs are still on, tariffs on Canadian products going into the United States, and yet the tariffs on American products going into Canada have been lowered or eliminated. So, and actually, a couple of days ago, Mark Carney went to China, the People's Republic of China, and in exchange to getting more canola seeds over to China, of course, China won that deal, as they usually do, in that they have electric vehicles, 50,000. 50,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but if you consider that all the EVs sold, electric vehicles sold in Canada, was about 200,000 in the year 2024. Nobody knows 2025, but they say that electric vehicle sales went down in 2025. Anyways, so that's 25%, 1 out of 4 that China is now able to bring in and sell at a price of $35,000 per EV. If you look at an American car or Western electric vehicle, you're looking at $60,000. How much does a Tesla cost? The cheapest Tesla is around 60. I think when it comes to importing and exporting goods, it comes down to two things. Who has the best quality? The best quality is always the best part of it. The best features, the best capabilities, the best reliability. When it comes to cars, nobody wants to change their car every year. Most people want to keep their car for 10 years. So whether the car is Chinese or Japanese or Korean or American or European, German, people generally look at the features. Do they like the aesthetics of the car? And do they like the interior of the car? And how do they feel about reliability? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is always going to be price. Okay, so those two things are always opposing each other usually, but when you get a transaction, that means you're unifying. You're finding the best quality at the best price. Does that make sense? And the best price is usually the lowest price. And because Chinese, that's their expertise. Okay, electronics. No matter how many tariffs you put on China, they will always have the human capital, human resources when it comes to material science and when it comes to making things that use electricity to move. If you ever go to a classroom in China, nobody ever talks about, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. They all talk about, I want to be an engineer. So I think China, he made the right move. Doug Ford, Ontario Premier, said it's the wrong move. I mean, that shows you how worried he is about keeping all vehicle production. Because if you really are a believer that all cars sold 20 years from now are going to be electric cars, then once China, one of their brands, become popular in Ontario, then that means people will stop buying Toyota and Honda, which both are made in Ontario, if you didn't know. Honda is Alliston, Ontario, and Toyota is Cambridge, I think, or Woodstock. They have 2 plants where they make Toyota RAV4, the best-selling car, by the way. And when it comes to the United States, I think Carney, he's the one. There's a reason why he was elected prime minister. He's the one that can make a deal with Trump, which is probably going to be harder than making a deal with China. But you can do both at the same time. And then, of course, you also look at the flip side. If Carney didn't make that deal with China, if Carney just gave them the cold shoulder, there would probably be even higher tariffs on canola seeds, which come from Saskatchewan and all the other agriculture where there's nowhere else. Okay, $7 billion worth of canola goes to China. There's nowhere else that buys to that degree. There's no other country that buys that amount of canola products, which is used for oil, if you didn't know, oil, cooking oil. And Canada has the best canola in the canola seeds and farms in the world. But guess what? If China doesn't like what you're doing, they're gonna stop buying. Okay, that's the game of politics. And it's the same thing with East Africa Showcase. If somebody doesn't like what Tezer Moges is doing, you can always say, "Oh, I'm never gonna come to your event." And if you don't come, that's your loss, because we're putting a lot of work into this. All I'm trying to do is help people. Okay, people before profits. But some Ethiopian person might say, "Oh, you're not doing it in Amharic or Tigrinya." I'm not even somebody who would speak Tigrinya, but I never lived in that country. I never lived in Ethiopia. So expecting me to speak a language of a country I never lived in is a little bit of a stretch. And usually the conversation goes like this with a Habesha person: "Why don't you speak Amharic?" It's, "Oh, I have my cousin or I have my relative's daughter," something, usually daughter, and they speak to me in Amharic, no English, just Amharic. Why don't you speak to me in Amharic? And in my mind, it depends on if this person can take a joke or not, because you don't know with Ethiopians. Ethiopians, they can flip out on you for anything. So, and I'm not looking for a war. No one wins in a war. So usually I say to myself, "Okay, you can go talk to her in Amharic. You can speak to me in English." And I haven't said that out loud yet, but yeah, usually, just listen to what they have to say. And this is a free country, as you know. It's a free country. You can speak any language that you want. English is a pretty useful language. And if you don't communicate in English, how can you improve your English? That's my main point against that. But it's okay. If somebody doesn't want East Africa Showcase, that's okay. You're never going to get anyone to do anything by force. Okay? We have to do what we need to do, invest in the product, invest in the experience to attract people and give people more reasons to want to attend. That's just how it is. The more you try to force someone to do something, the example speaking Amharic, the more they're going to resist and the more they're going to say, "I don't want to do that." So then you get into a war, conflict. Nobody wins in a conflict, okay? There's always mass casualties on both sides. It's just how it is. Everything is a fight. Everything is, "Why do you want to do this?" Why? Whenever you start hearing why, then you know that that person has checked out. And that's okay. That's okay. I expect nothing from anybody. Okay, one thing in life, to avoid disappointment, don't expect anything from anybody. People will move based on their self-interest. People will move based on what they know, what they see, what they hear. It basically has to do with brand power. They're all seasoned businesses. All seasoned businesses that, whether it's snowing outside, whether it's raining outside, people wake up in the morning and say, "Today, I'm going to do this." Okay? People have plans because the expectations are up here. They have high expectations because they had good experience in the past, or they heard good things, saw good things on the internet, and they want to try it out for themselves. So that's all we got to do with East Africa Showcase, I think. We got to control our costs. And it's very easy in business to think that you're going to be successful right away. Nobody's successful right away. This economy, the Toronto economy, is everything is frozen right now. Everything is frozen. Take a look at real estate. Real estate, nothing is selling. We went from tens of thousands of condos and houses being sold nationwide and region-wide, GTA-wide, to now we're talking about thousands or maybe hundreds a month. There's, of course, a new government that has new government policy on immigration, much harder to get in, even on a temporary basis, let alone permanent residency. They don't let you work. I heard this through Ethiopian Association. There's one guy there. All these restrictions. They got a work permit, and they're only able to work certain jobs. Okay, think of it. So basically, driver. They can be a driver, transportation, truck driver. I mean, who's coming from Ethiopia with experience of driving an 18-wheel truck. I don't think that's a safe idea. But yeah, basically, if there's no reason for you to stay here, you'll go back to your country. If there's no permit, you'll eventually go back. That's the mentality on your own. So it's the opposite of the United States, where they have something called ICE, and they're going door to door, finding people that are here illegally and trying to kick them out. That just proves to you it's much easier to invite somebody into your house or into your country than it is to remove them. Yeah, actually, I have something else I want to talk to. I hope you're liking the new format. I got rid of the table. Yeah, we'll see. I want to talk to you about our finances, though. I have it here on the iPad. I put this picture on my fridge, so I never forget it. You know, the numbers. You always got to review the numbers. Okay, I'm very, very strict, because every money that is spent, every dollar that is spent, there is always an expectation of a return on investment, but that return happens when it happens. It's not going to happen immediately. And so let me tell you our numbers for 2025. So 2025 in total, our event revenue from the events, I believe I did 10 of them in 2025. Actually, I made a mistake, because in the summer I thought I was going to do it every week. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. It's interesting. Summer was actually one of our lowest turnout, and that's okay. I've been to Toronto Public Library seminars, okay, online seminars, where only one person shows up because they don't promote it. That's the difference. If you promote something, people are more likely to show up. If you don't promote, no one's going to show up. The difference is, with Toronto Public Library, the guy that was teaching was actually on labor laws, Ontario labor laws. He was talking about that. It was kind of boring, to be honest, but that guy gets paid. I don't get paid, but I'm not focused on profit for now. I'm not focused on profit. I'm focused on people. And as long as you focus on what do people want, what do people need, try to meet the unknown, the unarticulated expectations of people. Eventually, Ethiopians, I think, they're drawn to crowds. If they think it's going to be an empty room, then they're less likely to show up. That and the fee too. So before I get into the numbers, let me just tell you, I kind of compare it to a religious service. Church, mosque, synagogue. Synagogue is for people that are Jewish. There are many others. Temples. If you go to Brampton, there are all these Sikh temples. Sikh is S-I-K-H. It's a real religion. Take a look at it, from India. And I just think about it like, there are massive crowds in religious services, religious places of worship. And where does the money come from? It comes from donations. If you were to charge a $5 entry fee to every single person who attended a church, nobody would show up. That church would be empty, completely empty. Okay, that's for $5. You don't make that much money on $5. Because people are there for the spiritual connection, and in some cases, the human connection. See all your friends there, the people that you like. People that you don't like, kind of walk past them. But yeah, I kind of compare East Africa Showcase to that. There's also like a freemium model. Freemium. So premium with an F. F-R-E-E-M-I-U-M. Freemium model. And that's where you have a free version of something, free application, like a Spotify or like a YouTube, free with ads. And then you have a paid version, a pro model or a pro version or a premium version, YouTube Premium and Spotify Premium, where you get to experience the whole app ad-free. And yeah, that works. So the people have the option to either choose the free option or the paid option. And that's how you get more users. So if it works online and if it works for religious services, because if you look at some of these churches, these are very, very well-built buildings, okay? Whether you're building a residential building or a commercial building or a religious building, the nicer the building, the more it costs. So clearly somebody's donating, and that's what we have to do. We have to continue to connect, continue to improve the product. The biggest room on planet Earth is the room for improvement. And so that's what we're gonna keep doing. And let me tell you about our revenue and expenses income statement. So for 2025, I had $733 collected at those events. And I had about $878 worth of operating expense, which is our rent. So the rent from the room, as you know, community centers are not free. Even though they're empty most of the time, the sports are free. Ping pong is free, basketball is free, swimming is free, badminton is free, pickleball is free, volleyball is free, hockey is free, soccer is free. But somehow, when you want to rent a room, they start charging you. So it's about $100 per. Actually, I rent it out for 90 minutes now. And since you're watching, I'll give you a little bit of a heads up. Our next event is going to be March 16th. I just booked the room, just paid for the room at Wellesley Community Center. But you're going to hear about it. I'm going to print out some posters. I think the posters were effective last time. And we're going to connect on social media, just like we're connecting now. So take a look. Clear your schedule for March 16, 7:30 p.m. We're going to be there. Our next event, next presentation featuring yours truly, Tezer Mogas. So back to this. $878 operating expense. And then there's the big number. It's called CapEx. Let me show you on the screen. CapEx, I don't know how this is going to turn out. But basically, capital expenditures are one-time expenses. So I had $4,247 worth of CapEx in 2025. Clearly, that is not sustainable. I cannot sustain spending $4,247 every single year. The good thing is, one-time expense, you make the expense last year, you don't have to make it again because it's like assets. You're acquiring assets. But it is still an expense because it comes from the same pockets called Tezer Mogas' pockets. But it's all in support of East Africa Showcase and creating the best experience. If you're going to do something, if you're going to do anything, whether it's in your job or for your family or for your loved ones, it's got to be the best thing possible according to your budget. According to your budget, you have to be able to pay your bills, pay your rent, pay your car expenses, pay your food expenses, pay for your haircut, pay for your clothes, pay for everything, because those are your personal responsibilities. So you use personal income for personal responsibilities. My lips always peel. No, I've tried so many things. I've tried Aquaphor, I've tried Vaseline, I've tried so many different things. My lips always peel in the winter. So humidifier, I have a humidifier at home, and somehow that's not effective, at least at the time of making this video. But it's okay. It's okay. My lips are peeling. We're going to continue with the video. Okay? Okay? Because I don't want to let you down. But where was I? So 4,200. And let me actually tell you right now what I spent it on. So let me show you what I spent the money on. I got 3 categories. I got advertising, a lot of advertising spend actually. I've given a lot of money to TikTok. I've given a lot of money to Instagram, Facebook. I've given a lot of money for, print. Yeah, print man. There's a guy in Danforth. He's the one that I do anything in color. It comes from him. But yeah, he charges a minimum fee of $5 if he opens the file. And yeah, I bought a lot of different things. I bought buttons. Oh, buttons, yes. I bought a cooler, igloo cooler that actually helped me out. That was for the picnic. I bought some cups. I bought soccer pylons. I bought a bag. I bought a pump. I bought a beach ball. All for the picnic. East Africa Showcase picnic. I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I'll let you know. But indoor events work out a lot better than outdoor. Outdoor is much harder to, and you're dealing with a more public environment, but indoor is a little bit better. Yeah, all those different things. I bought a power bank, $42. I bought license plate covers. I bought charcoal, $17.99 charcoal. I bought, InShot. InShot is how I make these videos. It's from China, an application from China. InShot, and they only do it on mobile. They don't have a desktop application. So InShot, I would highly recommend, but they have a yearly subscription fee of $28, annual subscription. I bought 2 speakers. So I bought the Tailgate Tough speaker. I ended up giving it to Okubai, the Masawa convenience. I don't know how often he plays it. Hopefully he does play it. But if you go there, Masawa, he has the speaker now, and yeah, he can play the music. Because I keep telling him, like, it can't be dead quiet all the time. You need music. You need music when people walk in. So I decided to give him my speaker. I bought a megaphone. Oh, the megaphone. Yeah, I used it once and then I lost it there. $14.19. That was too bad. I bought a handheld fan, $40. Oh yeah, handheld fan in order to cool me down. I think I still have that. Yes, I do. Cookies, juice, 4-pack distilled water. I bought corn, cherries, rubber bands. Wow, look at that. Oh yes, I rented Infinity QX60 for the picnic event because I knew I would have a lot of people asking me for free rides. So I said, rather than try to overload Mazda, we try to get a 7-passenger car. The mistake I did is good to reflect on. The mistake I did was try to rent it out the day of. It was Canada Day weekend, which means rental car places are always oversubscribed. They always have a long line there. I even got a fight with one of the women waiting in the line. She was trying to send me to the back of the line, and I told her I was already there. I waited for 1 hour. Oh man, that was a fun day. But next time, I'll definitely, if I rent a car, I'm gonna rent it the day before and pay whatever parking fee I have to pay rather than wait in lines. The worst thing possible, it's like traffic. Waiting in lines, it just ruins you. It ruins your mood and everything else. So yeah, that they gave me a luxury car though for the pain of waiting in line for the same rate. That was $131 for the day. And I bought YouTube stickers, all these YouTube stickers that you keep seeing, and TikTok stickers now. That costs money too. $56. Wow. $24. I bought a lock. I bought Instagram app boost, $50 given to Facebook. Yeah. The easiest way to save money this year is going to be giving TikTok and Instagram a lot less money in terms of advertising. But credit to them. They make it so easy to boost the post. And back in the day, in order to get on television, you need to talk to the producers and you need to get approved by management and you need all these different things in order to get on television. And of course, pay thousands of dollars. So spending less than $100 to get on TikTok or to get on Instagram and get on people's feeds, yeah, it's they're actually helping people save money. But to be honest, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think social media advertising is really that worth it because most of the people, like there are so many ads that you see when you're on social media that it's like people might care about it or they might not care about it. And unless you give them thousands of dollars, I don't think it's gonna work out. So yeah, definitely I'll be looking to reduce costs on that. I bought a Santa hat. I gave it to those 2 kids, $2.83. I have that even recorded here. Think of it, with the dates and with the time. I bought this microphone here, Hollyland. That was, $135. Anything having to do with technology is going to be hundreds of dollars. So that's why I always have to be careful with these events and making sure that it doesn't get stolen. That's tough, man. It's tough because nobody cares more about your business than you do. So, but without the investment, you're not going to have the equipment and you're not going to be able to do this video. Without this microphone, the quality would be terrible. Audio quality, and you probably wouldn't be watching at this point. Oh, I bought a platform cart. Yes, from Walmart, $135. Yeah, that's going to be helpful too in terms of moving things around. And yeah, I mean, you can look at anyone's expenses. I gave $280 to TikTok towards the end of the year. That was probably too much. No results. $194. Oh, that was for Okubai, for Masawa Convenience. I decided to promote it a little bit. I decided, he didn't ask me to do it, but I decided just to see what would happen. And yeah, I think Habesha, they'll see you online. But in terms of getting Habesha to spend money, don't expect it. Remember, don't expect anything from anybody. The only way you know whether something is effective or not is by doing it. So the same thing with like education. You spend thousands of dollars, $8,000 a year on university, usually $3,000 or $4,000 on college. If you're a domestic student, if you're an international student, way more than that, 3 or 4 times that. And you get no results until you graduate. And that's when you go from student to a professional. But if you decide to, oh, I'm not going to spend the money, I'm just going to stay home and learn everything from the internet, that's cool. But free content is not going to be as good. Free online content is definitely not going to be as good as in-person content. And the whole idea with learning is to have better information to make better decisions. Okay? To make better decisions. I have a picture here I want to show you. These two channels, Teletoon and Family Channel. Ever since I was a child, these were like daily. They were Canadian channels that had content from all over the world, including Canadian content. But as you know, we've moved on to a world of free content and a world of streaming. So the days of people wanting to go home and watch a show at 9 p.m., those days are over. And now they're actually both out of service, decommissioned, because these were not government entities. CBC, Canada Broadcasting Corporation, delivers news about Canada. And they receive about $1 billion every year to create and deliver the content that you see on CBC, on television, on radio, on social media. Yeah, television and radio, those are the big ones. And guess what? If they didn't receive that $1 billion, they would have nothing. Okay? CBC would be bankrupt too. And anyways, let's not get into the politics. Yeah, but it's a new world order when it comes to content. Anyone and everyone is their own television station, and anything goes on the internet. And so how do we navigate? How do we find a way? Because I can tell you, whether someone's getting 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, comments, likes are very, very, very deceiving in terms of like when you post something and you get likes, then it kind of makes you feel like, oh, people want me, people appreciate my content, blah, blah, blah. And if you get no likes, then it's like, oh, nobody cares. I promise you, people are watching your content. They might not like, they might not be public about it, who knows? But people are watching. And so it's worth trying. Like, what do I have to lose at this point? You only have one life, and you only have one opportunity, really, to make a positive difference in the world. And I think through business, you'll be able to do that. Let me see if I have any other interesting things I want to share before I end this conversation. Let's see. I got a shared album. It's called AV Room. Okay, I like this one. There is no perfect moment to do something, but there are facts and there are fiction. So going back to the content thing, if all your information is coming from the internet, it's very easy to get misled. It's like getting all your information and all your influence from your friends. If everyone is the same age, then everyone has the same experience. One of the best things about Canada is that you have people from all over the world and you have products and services from all over the world. If you like it, you buy it. If you don't like it, you don't buy it. But because of that, Canada never has shortages and never runs out of products, never runs out of things. The last time I can remember in my lifetime of things running out and going to a store and shelves being empty would be toilet paper in coronavirus. It was all about people were selling toilet paper on Facebook Marketplace. That was an interesting time. But yeah, there are facts and there are fiction. Never expect anyone to approve or to say you're doing the great thing by doing what you're doing, okay? Don't seek any kind of validation from anybody, even from your spouse or from the people that you live with, to be honest. They might say you're crazy, and that's okay. Look at the numbers, understand the numbers, control what you can control when it comes to expenses, and yeah, just follow the facts. And if people are showing up, if people are paying attention to what you're doing, I think you're on the right track. But people paying attention doesn't always mean you're gonna make a lot of money. Okay, so stick to your day job, keep your day job, keep whatever is paying your bills. That's what I've learned throughout these 2 years. But there's no perfect moment. You just gotta keep going, and you gotta do what you gotta do. If you believe in it, you'll keep investing in it. Okay, so this is the year of cost reduction, but reducing costs doesn't mean eliminating costs. Okay, it doesn't mean eliminating costs. That would be a terrible thing. If you contribute nothing, you get nothing. Okay, does that make sense? And okay. I have something else too. You know, these thoughts. I love putting things down on a notepad and then taking a picture. Otherwise, I would never remember to say it on these videos. But it's a dark winter. Okay, no matter if it's a big business or a small business, right now, many of the places are empty. Many of the places you go for a walk anywhere in downtown Toronto, people standing around waiting for business. It's tough. It's tough to see the country in this situation. But you can say it happens every winter. But people are just not spending as much as they used to. And if you look, actually, though, there are businesses that are doing well. If you look at sports bars, if you look at certain places, they have something called brand power. Brand power is so important. People need to know that you exist. People need to recognize your value, see good things, hear good things, and trust you. Every transaction comes down to trust and a great experience. If people heard that other people had a great experience, then they're likely to give you a shot. But guess what? If somebody shows up and you don't give them that great experience, okay, they're trusting you to deliver immediate value. They're trusting you to make their day, make your day. Yeah, make their day, actually. Because you are providing a service, okay? When it comes to food, people can make their own coffee, their own caffeinated beverage, their own hot drinks, their own cold drinks, their own food, their own sandwiches, their own hamburgers, whatever. The question is going to be, do you have the time and do you have the energy? But a great experience at a great price, great experience. People will travel for that great experience far and wide to come and see you. So that's what anyone that is in business should be trying to do. Nothing is perfect at the beginning. You try your best and see what happens. But nobody invests expecting to lose money. That's on the business side and that's on the consumer side too. The consumer, every dollar that you spend is an investment. Like, as an example, with the lips, I might have to try some new moisturizer for the lips. I've tried lots of things. And even today, I put it on before I came here. And somehow it's still a problem. So if you have any recommendations, let me know for the lips. Face. I don't know how my face is looking. It is what it is, man. Nobody has a perfect face. Nobody has perfect hair forever. It is what it is. You do your best. You do your best. You look for advice. You look for suggestions. You look for the great things. But you have one chance to make a positive impression. And yeah, one disappointment can be the end of the relationship. So everything is high stakes, high risk, high reward if you get it the right way. But it's a cold, dark winter. And when you have a cold, dark winter, you expect low demand. And if businesses expect low demand, then there's going to be low investment. Yeah, it's kind of an enjoyable thing. It's a high risk thing because I don't know if people are going to like what I'm talking about, if people are not going to like it. But guess what? If you don't like Tesla Mogas doesn't like you. How about that one? But guess what? Nobody is going to be 100% supportive of what you're doing. But you got to find the people that do support you. And they support you because you support them. Just remember that. So I think I've left all that I have to say today in this video. I even talked about the family channel here. It's a graveyard. So one tombstone here, one tombstone there. It's so sad. It's so sad to see this because how are you going to know about Canada if there are no Canadian channels? If people are paying attention to everything that's going on in the United States, everything that's going on back home, you can't expect local jobs unless you have local business, local demand. People are spending their time and energy on what's going on here. So that is a problem that I don't know the solution to. And in terms of business, there was a news article that, reporting because it happened, Saks Fifth Avenue, which was high-end luxury clothing store. I'm pretty sure it was part of Hudson's Bay, so Hudson's Bay went down. Saks Fifth now also filed for bankruptcy. But the interesting thing is in 2024, when it looked like Hudson's Bay was on its way out, Saks Fifth bought another retailer called Neiman Marcus. Neiman, N-E-I-M-A-N. A luxury brand that does shoes and apparel and everything else, to join their department store. Guess how much they paid? Okay? $2.7 billion. $2.7 billion, and it was all funded by debt. I mean, who let them borrow the money to buy $2.7 billion? I mean, Sears went bankrupt. Hudson's Bay was not making any profits, and yet somehow somebody financed this deal of $2.7 billion. But actually, banks, the investment banks, they make one-time fees up front. So even if they know a deal is probably not the right thing in the long term, it's probably not going to make the borrower much money, even if they know that. It's a conflict of interest, I guess, but they still make money on the deal by underwriting the deal and giving them the money to make the transaction happen, $2.7 billion, because the investment bank is not the one paying the interest. They're receiving the interest. They're taking a risk. Of course, maybe they might not get their money back, but they make a tremendous amount of one-time fees in order to make the transaction happen. And then you can also sell the debt to somebody else. So sell that $2.7 billion that Saks Fifth owed to make the transaction. $2 billion. I mean, we have to think about how much money $2.7 billion is. $2.7 billion is like Ethiopia. Ethiopia is about $100 billion GDP. GDP is gross domestic product. So everything that is purchased, everything that is sold within the borders of $100 billion for the whole entire country. So we're talking about $2.7 billion to buy a brand that, I don't know what their numbers were. Maybe they had good numbers. And somehow Saks Fifth thought it was a good idea. And now they're bankrupt in 2026. So it's a sad thing because the people will suffer. The people will suffer in terms of not having these options to go see a store. You know, department stores were kind of fun because it was like a museum of clothes, museum of apparel. You don't get that same experience online. And I don't think everyone wants to buy their clothes from Walmart. And yeah, it's just a very interesting thing to see all these businesses close. Businesses that were on the top of their game, making so much money. Everyone loved them. And now going bankrupt. So big businesses can go bankrupt. Small businesses can go bankrupt. Yeah, you'll always be able to find cheaper clothes at Walmart and Costco. Costco is doing very well with clothes. Very, very well. I might do a video on Costco actually. Because at the beginning, I believe 1980s they started, 1970s, 1980s, everyone said that no one would buy a yearly membership of like $5 a month for the privilege of shopping at a store. And to this day, 2026, Costco is the only one that has been able to make it work, the membership fees, because most of the profits come from the membership fee. Not that they don't make profits on what they sell, but yeah, that just shows you that anything is possible. And no matter what kind of doubt is placed on you, as long as you're focused on people and providing value for people and making their life more affordable and more enjoyable, you can do well. And don't be like Saks Fifth and don't spend $2.7 billion buying a luxury brand when you know that your finances are not enough. Because the only reason you borrow money to make a transaction happen is because you don't have the money on your balance sheet in assets. So just remember that. No offense to Saks Fifth. I hope maybe they'll be reincarnated with a smaller footprint, of course, at some point later on. But yeah, Costco, I think I'm going to make a video on Costco. That was probably the next time you'll see me in this room. I hope you learned something from this. I hope that we'll see each other at these upcoming networking events. March 16, my goal for 2026 is to have at least 4 networking events, 1 for every season. So March is going to be the spring season networking event. Then we're going to have the summer networking event. Then we're going to have the fall networking event. Then the winter networking event. Those are going to be like the headline networking events, which you won't want to miss. I'm probably going to stick with Mondays because, you know, to the group of people that are there, whether you're paying or not, I respect you for showing up. I respect you for showing up. So, I mean, changing the date because somebody tells me to change a date or change the time or change the location. And then imagine if that person that told me to change the date doesn't show up, then I lose because the people that are available on Mondays will be like, why did you do that? So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Mondays, 7:30. We'll keep in touch on that. I'm in talks with Toronto Community Housing because they have rooms. It's interesting. Even 375 Bleecker Street, they have a room called Recreation Room. As a child, I used to go there for after school programs. So that's how I know it exists. That was like 20 years ago. And I'm really, really trying to get that room. It's not as nice as Wellesley, but for the people that live in that building, it'll be very good. And hopefully they don't charge me for that. So, but there is still going to be an insurance cost. If I can get that room for free, then we can have like a weekly event where just hang out and talk about, discuss life, navigate life, strategize. What are you going to do? What do you want to do? What do you need to get to where you want to be? That's the whole thing with East Africa Showcase that I'm trying to do. Showcase the talent of Ethiopia, East Africa, showcase the region, and also showcase local talent and local ingenuity because we have so many great ideas in our mind, okay? People need to know about them, okay? Remember, profits follow people. Profits follow people, okay? So if people don't know your ideas, don't know what you want to do and how you're going to deliver for people, they won't buy. So I think we're going to end it there. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate you. I love you to an extent. I don't know who's watching this, so maybe love is a little strong word. But for watching to the end, I really appreciate everything that you're doing, and I hope to see you soon. This is Tezra Mogas signing off. Thank you very much.